My director screamed, "No one in this industry will hire you." As he fired me, I made one call. He didn't know my sister, who he'd never met, was the lead journalist on a 6-month investigation into his company's fraud for the Wall Street Journal. I was her anonymous source. I knew the air had shifted the second he walked into the Monday morning meeting like he owned the building. 14 years I'd been here, 14 years of knowing every regulation, every quarterly cycle, every potential pitfall that could tank us with the SEC. My record? Spotless. My audits? Bulletproof. My reputation? Solid enough that board members asked for my opinion before voting on major initiatives. I was the guy they called when things got messy, but the new director didn't want a steady hand. He wanted a spotlight, and I was apparently in his way. He was younger, louder, and clearly thought compliance was just a speed bump on the road to his own bonus. First weekend, he scrapped a risk report I'd spent 3 months compiling, called it paranoid theater in front of a full conference room, got a few laughs from his little entourage too. I sat there, holding my coffee like it was the only thing keeping my hands from wrapping around his neck. I'd seen his type before: fast talker, short memory, allergic to facts that didn't fit his narrative. Now, before I go any further, 97% of you who listen to stories like this never hit the subscribe button, which is fine, unless you enjoy watching corporate train wrecks unfold from the front row, like I'm about to give you. Seriously. It keeps the lights on for the team, and trust me, you're going to want to stick around for this one. Anyway, it started small. A subtle override of my recommendations here. I don't worry about the fine print there. He'd walk into meetings late, slam his laptop open like he was cracking a safe, and immediately announce we were going to streamline processes to impress investors. Translation: make the numbers look shinier than they actually were. I pushed back politely at first, reminded him that every shortcut he wanted came with a paper trail, and paper trails are like landmines when you're dealing with regulatory bodies. He smiled, patted my shoulder like I was some old-timer clinging to the past, and said, "That's why we have lawyers." I didn't respond. I just noted the date, time, and exact phrasing in a file I keep for moments exactly like that. You spend enough time in compliance. Learn that half the job is preparing for the day someone thinks they're smarter than the rules. The shift was fast. Within 2 weeks, my approval sign-off on major reports was no longer necessary. Projects I'd been involved in for years suddenly bypassed my desk entirely. In department updates, he'd throw little jabs. We're moving forward without unnecessary delays, and everyone knew he meant me. I kept my face neutral, but every time he did it, I made sure to remember the way he glanced at the room afterward, checking for laughs. He needed an audience for his ego. I also noticed the interns and junior analysts suddenly avoiding eye contact when I passed, not because they didn't like me, they'd been friendly enough before, but because they didn't want to be seen as siding with the guy who was clearly in the new director's crosshairs.